What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Whiskey Wednesday night here on the Master and Drum. What's going on, everybody? I am Jason C. Welcome to the show. Man, good to be back. Good to be doing our third week of Blendageddon this week. Blendageddon Frankenblends, I should say. Has Jason released the pairing for the next round of Blendageddon? Says Wade Ward. I'll say hi. I'll address all that soon, but as far as the American whiskey blends, I'm working on the bracket. You guys will probably see that bracket next week when we do the finals of Blendageddon Frankenblends edition. And then we'll, get to learn a little bit more about the prizes and some of the other stuff we got going on. It's going to be a hell of a time. Yeah, guys, while you're hanging out here, why don't you mash the like button while you're here right now, while we're hanging out. We have some really interesting bottles to try through tonight. Ones that I have not tried yet at all, including this Wild Turkey 8-year. This is an export, Japanese export. We'll go through some of the history on this. Like when Wild Turkey 101 was released in the 1940s, basically it had an 8-year age statement, and then it was dropped around the 1990s. However, the age statement was not dropped for the overseas market. So Japan and some of the other countries across the pond definitely get some a few different expressions than we get, but we also get probably a lot more of the special releases than they do. So yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff here. This is the one I'm really looking forward to trying. This is called River Roots. They were kind enough to send me this bottle. This is, I don't know if you guys have heard about this one. Sealbox released this not that long ago. And this is a collab with Michael Symon. Now, Michael Symon is the world-renowned chef. He's been on Food Network. He's got his own cooking shows. And apparently he's really into whiskey. So he's from Cleveland, here in Ohio. And he basically chose these barrels. Obviously, he's probably got a pretty damn good palate being a chef. But we're looking at a 13-year-old Kentucky bourbon. This is not light whiskey. It's a 13-year-old Kentucky bourbon at 146.56 proof. What? And look how dark it is. Crazy. Now, this is a bourbon, and it's actually finished in port wine. So, I don't know. I'm curious about that one. Then we have a little bit of a just to kind of go with the theme tonight. I just got back from Colorado, and it was a hell of a trip. And there was a lot of stuff packed into a little bit of time. Me and my girlfriend Kim, we really enjoyed the entire weekend. We were there, got to do a lot of different stuff. Went to Pikes Peak, Estes Park, Rocky Mountain National Park. We did a hot spring. I mean, we were all over the place. It was amazing. So to kind of come back fully recharged, as you can see, I'm like fired up tonight. So before we get into all that, let me say hi to people in the chat. What is going on, Mr. Truman? Nice to see you, man. Joey B is here. Good luck to all the Blendageddon 6 participants. Here's to a great live stream. Absolutely. KCD is here. Let's go Bulls. That's right. NBA has started tonight. If you guys are fans of the NBA. Sandeep Chima is here. How you doing, Sandeep? Russ L is here. Fifth quarter tailgate. What's going on, Scott? Nice to see you, man. Bo's Wine Guy in the house. Let's go Whiskey Wednesday. The Bourbon Jerk in the house. What's going on, bud? Whiskey Juice is here. Dram Yankee. Slapshots Roadhouse. What's going on, Slapshot? Nice to see you, man. Darren Clary, the wild card in the Frankenblend category. Welcome in, buddy. Adam Hinson is here. Tim Cornet is here. What's going on, bud? Dunny in the house. Jared O'Connor, Doug H, Sergey. Hope you enjoyed Colorado. We did, man. Sorry I didn't get to hang with you, but maybe next time I'm in Colorado, we'll definitely get together. It's happening. Cheers, Jason. Cheers, everyone. Let's see. William Wiley's here. What's going on, buddy? Nice to see you, man. JG with his famous whiskey cheers. Nice to see you, man. Travis Robeson is here. Nice to see you as always. Peter White, my man in Canada. K.A. Russell's in the house. John Perclay is here. Chad Sagert. Get Strunk is here. Let's see. William Kavanaugh's in the house. What's going on, man? Ian Knepp. What's going on, buddy? Nice to see you as well. Big Vic in the house. What's going on, Big Rigged? Nice to see you. Bill Mills is here. Joe the Sample Guy. and a bunch more people coming in. Wade Ward, James Lay, Lionel G. James Lay, look out for your bottle coming soon. Got that thing out to you, so there you go. Rigo Roca is here. I think that's a new name. Nice to see you, man. Karen B. Ford, Rare Breed is here, and more people coming in. Eric Desmarius. Ooh, got a bunch of I Like Tonight's crowd. We got a lot of old school people and some new names as well. Brian Nettleton, in the spirit of Blendageddon, having some Old Forester 1915. All right, so like I said, let me throw this up here today real quick. Put up the let's see, the little border here. Big Vic is already yelling rigged. Of course he is. And we have the week 3 of Blendageddon contestants here going down the list, guys. Tonight's blenders include Eric Sawyer, who's the defending champion from last year from winning the whole damn thing. Smokey Joe, Henry Turner, Joshua Maxwell, Oisin Hayes, and Danny Lopez. Good luck, guys. We have some big names here tonight. Let's see. Cool Running. Cheers, Jason. Everyone in the house. MJ. Hey, how you doing, Lily? Lily and MJ are here. Nice to see you guys. The River Roots 13 is still on Steelbox for $275. Yeah, I mean, I think the price on that one is going to definitely scare some people away. So I do appreciate them sending me a bottle to have and to hold and to try with you guys. Ron Miles is in the house from Barton Bourbon Company. Nice to see you, man. He says that Wild Turkey 8 years, a solid pour. Yeah, let's dive into it, guys. So again, like I had mentioned, Wild Turkey had an age statement since it came out in the 1940s. In the early 1990s, it was dropped. Then it was, but dropped here, but not overseas. So Japan has had the pleasure of having a 12-year age state. 12-year, they had some 13 years, the 8-year, 101. But like I said, people get salty about it because we don't have an age-stated Wild Turkey anymore. However, we do get a lot of stuff that overseas, folks don't. Would I like to see it back in the United States? Hell yeah. At least, in some sort of, I don't know, format, whether it be a special release, a gift shop release, I don't know, just maybe like a Christmas release for the holidays. But I would definitely like to see an age-stated Wild Turkey 101 come back. So now I would put this up against the 12-year, but I mean, just from the smell, I don't think it's going to be that much of a contest. But let me zoom in here for you guys, and you can see the beautiful bottle here. There it is. So it still has the new bottle shape, but this is the Wild Turkey 101. This is the latest edition. Shared Pour had dropped a couple of these on their website, and as soon as I saw it, I jumped at it. I'm a turkey nut, so I'm gonna try to grab everything I can. So yeah. Cheers, Jason. Drinking the M&J Hard Truth, so good, dude. Joe, I love that bottle so much. It is so good. Jason, did you get a sample of the 2023 Garrison Brothers Cowboy Bourbon yet? I did not, Wesley, not yet. Open the C923 for the stream. Elbow cough, says Aaron Martindale. Yeah, I mean, we could compare this to the regular 101 for sure. I have a bottle right back there. But yeah, let's get in on this one real quick. And cheers, guys. Let me know what you're drinking in the chat, as always. Great to see you guys. Glad to be back. Gonna be making a ton of content the next couple days. Got so many ideas. It's just great to go and refresh and kind of reset your brain a little bit. Yeah, as you can see, I'm still a little bit fired up right now, but doing well here. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys tonight. We're gonna taste through some Blendageddon samples. Unfortunately, I tried to get a guest judge here for tonight, but the box I sent overnight when I got back from my trip was delayed. So unfortunately, my guest judge, who was going to be Dusty Dan, won't be able to join me tonight in tasting these. But I do have an epic judge next week to help out with the finals already lined up. And guys, let me tell you, the judges I have getting lined up right now for Blendageddon for the American whiskey blends, you guys that are in that competition, that are making blends, you're going to lose your mind. You'll see. Just saying. All right, here we go. Let's try the 101. So this actually falls into a little bit of the wild turkey nuttiness that you sometimes get. It's not as it's not as like toffee and maybe citrus forward as I'm used to, maybe with the domestic. You know, and let me grab the domestic now. Whoop. All right, so here's our non-age stated wild turkey 101. Let me actually throw it in the same type of glass here. I've been trying out some new glasses just to see if, I don't know, if I get better noses on some versus the other. There are definite changes when you utilize different glasses. I think we get so locked into the Glencairn, but there are other glasses that do some amazing things to the whiskey. So I've been kind of messing with that. I don't know if you guys, I mean, you guys let me know in the chat. Do you have a glass other than the Glencairn that you like to use for whiskey? Let me know in the chat. It's always good to kind of mix with those and see what you guys like and don't like. Yeah, so let's look at the so color difference wise. I mean, I would actually argue that the 8-year is slightly darker. I don't know if you guys can see that. Actually, yeah, you can. You can see that this glass is slightly darker here, which is kind of cool. Oh, Toths are fun. I like Hoths. High West decaying in value? I think so. I think High West is kind of, I don't know. I mean, I like High West whiskey, but there, I mean, besides Midwinter's Night's Dram, there's nothing out there that they release massively that really kind of gets me excited. And Midwinter's Night's Dram is very good, but there are so many port finished, you know, ryes out in the market now. So, let's see. Got it at the Turkey Gift Shop. Red Solo Cup. MJ says my summer jam glass is one of my favorites. Oh, that's awesome. I use a Copita from time. I'm a big fan of the Copita glass. All right, so difference on the nose here. Wild Turkey 101 domestic. I would say a little bit more citrus forward, a little bit more toffee forward. I mean, you get some of the, I don't know, that little bit of a turkey funk that you get. But on the 8-year, the age stated, it's a little bit more nutty. There's a nuttiness factor that comes in. Like, it could be confused maybe with like a Jim Beam type nuttiness a little bit. I'm discovering bourbons, and your content has really helped guide me on my journey, says Spider Gray. Appreciate that, man. Glad my content's helping you out. Always love to hear that. Yeah, a little bit of baking spice here on the export. The domestic, I don't know. The domestic one is lighter and sweeter. So, which I mean, that sounds maybe a little bit like typical, what you would think, but it actually, that's what's happening here. So, all right, let's try the 8-year first. Yeah, that nuttiness comes through on the palate too, guys. Oh, a little bit of a fruit forwardness there. Comes off like, ooh. It's this nice mix of like citrus and cherry. Get that nuttiness in there. Wow, you could confuse that maybe for like a 101. I don't know. It tastes like a really, like it could be like a really good Kentucky Spirit, like 101 101 single barrel pick, excuse me. Yeah, it stays pretty consistent too. Just a really solid pour. I do think there's more going on in this one than the domestic one here. Yeah, as good as the domestic one is, this comes off a little bit lighter and sweeter. The 8-year age stated has a little bit more darkness to it. However, this isn't nearly as good as the 12-year export. The 12-year export still kind of blows this one away, even though this is a really solid pour. I mean, Yeah, there's a difference here. One more sip each. Versus the domestic. You know what? The more you sip these, the less of a difference there tends to be. I think the first couple sips you can really kind of tell those differences. However, when you're going back and forth after a couple sips, they start to kind of meld together a little bit. I wouldn't say there's a huge difference, but there is a relatively different experience with the 8-year age statement versus the domestic. So there you go. I mean, if you're a turkey fan and you can get this for retail, I would, I think it's a good good enough bottle to add to your collection. It's really solid, really good. Not mind blowing. I still much rather prefer the 12-year over that one. So try it next to the 12 years age dated Japanese release. So Dennis, I only have the 13-year, which I am not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the purple, the 13-year. What does that say? Hey, Dave Reichens. Hey, Jay, I'm super pumped to say that I won a raffle. Was able to grab Stag Junior at retail. Dream come true. Well, that's what it's all about, baby. That's awesome, man. Congrats. You got yourself a Stag. Did Jason lose a bet at a live stream? Yeah, Blue. Pretty much. I mean, I don't know if you're newer to the streams, but yeah, I'm a Falcon fan. Always have been. So it is my cross to bear. Yes. Although I can say that my Falcons are in first place technically in a terrible NFC South. But hey, they're doing their thing. So I don't know why, but not a Wild Turkey fan, says Hector Torres. Yeah, I mean, some people aren't a big fan of Wild Turkey. I think it just depends what you like. I'm a huge fan of Wild Turkey, but I love a lot of other distilleries. Obviously, Heaven Hill I think has been absolutely killing it the last couple of years with a lot of their releases. Dixon killed it with the new Gemma Kentucky. Yeah, I got to try that. I don't know why, but not a Wild. Let's see here. I've had the 12-year, almost had a finished taste to it. I've had the 12-year, almost had a finished taste to it. Okay. Yeah, I haven't had the 12-year export. Can't say I've had that one. Dr. Drew says, hey, Jason, just ordered the Master Journey Rum Picks and Hard Truth Bit. Looking forward to it. Oh, awesome, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you guys, I like Rested Jason. Well, I like Burnout Jason, too. Says JG. Wild Turkey's starting to upset me with their pricing lately. Dude, preaching to the choir. I think, and I've said this before, I think Campari has figured out what they have in the Russells, and they have figured out the bourbon market and what people are willing to pay for bourbon releases. I mean, this release is $450. $450 for Wild Turkey Generations. Full review of this is coming next week on Monday. So you guys will see a full review of this. I break it down. I compare it to Russell's 13 and also to the single Rickhouse. So I put this one through the paces. So the results might be surprising. So you guys will see that one Monday. Larceny Barrel Proof, all three of them coming at you. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, my world famous falling off the chair. All three blind review coming soon. What else? Yeah, a lot of stuff. So yeah, Stag 23A full full review for that. So a lot of stuff coming in. Is the new Knob Creek 18 worth picking up? Travis Melvin. I mean, I don't know if Travis, if you've had the last one, if you had last year's. I mean, from what I tasted, it's pretty close. So if you missed last year's, you have a chance to get this year's. I think it's worth the pickup if you like high age Knob Creek or Jim Beam. But again, Jim Beam has been coming out with a lot of high age stated bottles this year, probably more than anyone. Especially with the Hardin's Creek series, the Beam, the the Baker's 13. I mean, they just keep pumping out all these big age stated bottles. They even have a age stated Jim Beam Black label coming out. So they brought back the Knob Creek Rye age statement. I mean, Jim Beam is just age stating the hell out of the market. It's crazy. Scott Raper, he picked up 4 Russell Reserve store picks today, 10-year Camp Nelson for $55 each. Scott, you're a man after my own heart, man. I'm glad I wasn't in there, because for that price, I would have bought a lot of those. We have the KC 18 season 2 at Costco for $145. It's definitely worth that. Although I'm pretty sure KC 12 has 18-year-old bourbon in it. Yeah, I mean, if you're cost conscious, I always tell people just go for the KC 12. Might be a better, less oaky pour for the masses, but for people that love oaky bourbons or an oaky type of experience, try the 18. So, all right, what do I want to try here next? I want to try this. I'm excited about this bottle. So this is from Penelope. So Penelope were kind enough to send me this bottle. Danny and Mike are just incredible guys. America, that's for you, ADHD whiskey. Now, from what I understand, this is a 4-grain mash bill. And I believe Mike kind of, I think he told me exactly what was in this bottle. So let's see here. Here we go. Okay. 4-grain mash bill, 9-year and 10-year-old bourbon. This was blended by Danny over at Penelope, and it includes Indiana and Kentucky bourbon. So 4-grain mash bill, 9 and 10-year, Indiana and Kentucky. So there you go. Those are the stats for this one. Hey, Joe Graves in the house. What's going on, man? Ernie Medina. Hey, Jason, what are your thoughts on Barrel Craft Spirits gold labels from Bourbon Dovetail and Seagrass? I have one of them here. I was a big fan of Seagrass. Honestly, I don't think the giant markup is worth the big difference that you get from the retail versus the special gold label. I mean, you get some older whiskey. I get that. But the older whiskeys, the gold labels are generally all Canadian. And I kind of like the mix of Canadian and other whiskeys like the domestics are. Or not the domestics, the regular releases are. So are they good? Yeah, I think they're really good. However, for the money, I would probably still drink the Shelfers, to be honest. So I'll probably save that money and, maybe do something else. Yeah, and actually Kenneth Rathburn in the chat makes a good point. The gold labels have actually been dropping in price. Jason, is that the Ohio that came out this week or just one from Penelope Direct? This is one from Penelope Direct. This should be releasing in Ohio at some point. Gold label Dave and C are insanely excellent, says Phil C. Yeah, they are really excellent. They really are excellent. Jason, you sporting any cool kicks this evening? Says Mr. Great Shot. Yeah, I'm actually wearing a pair of sneakers that I designed. These are called, if you guys know Nike, you can go on the website and they have a Nike ID site. So generally they'll release like some different sneakers that you can customize on your own. They have kind of a limited palette of colors, but sometimes you get a really good color palette. So these are the Dunk Lows that I made. And I just wanted to create something with, it's kind of my favorite color sequence with the red, black, and gray as a white bottom. So these were kind of my Nike ID shoes that I wanted to create. And I absolutely love these. These are all leather. You could kind of pick like what your materials are going to be. So yeah, these are my Nike, my One Lows. I love these, my sneakers. Joe Wanniger, I found an M&J toasted barrel strength Penelope in a cabinet today, and I'm really excited. Joe, that one is like liquid butterscotch. So rare character on your radar as a potential video candidate. Yeah, but unfortunately, Dylan, I've only done rare character picks, but I do love them as a brand for sure. Let's see. That color combo is weird. It says why guys too. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be weird. It's supposed to kind of make it on your own. And that's why those are fat. How much? I don't remember. Like when you make your own sneakers, I forgot exactly what it is. I think it's like 150, 160 to make your own. So, Albert, yes, I do have the 4, 5, and 6K Luke video that I have in the hopper as well. So you'll see that one. So, yep. Albert, if actually you go back in my live streams, I do review K Luke Batch 6 live. So, yep. Zach Butler, Jason, did you end up getting an Anderson County? I did. I did get an Anderson County bourbon. I did not get the rye. It was an expensive bottle, but I wanted to get one, so I got the bourbon. Let's see. All right. On the nose, this Penelope. I feel like I can get the wheat in this a little bit. Got a chance to grab Camp Nelson F or 23 M10 bourbon, which to grab. Wow, rare breed. Rare breed, honestly, I would probably go with the M10 bourbon. As much as I love the Camp Nelson F, I'm a huge turkey fan, but that Michter's 10-year special this year, and who knows if we'll see another really good one like that. So I would go for the M10. And it's cheaper, to be honest. So Copper Wolf, I was about to get a POAC bourbon as well. Which proof did you get? I don't know yet. I don't even know what the proof is I got. So, all right. Nose on this is great. It's very sweet, very inviting. A lot of toffee, a lot of like brown sugar, a little bit of rye spice too. It is a 4-grain, so corn, rye, wheat, malted barley. So it's got a little bit of everything. But Danny always blends great stuff. A little bit of milk chocolate here too, guys. Starting to come out of the glass as it sits. Whiskey juice. Oh, come on. What's in the box? What box? This box? Nothing's in this box. Hey, Black Bourbon Family is here. 2023 M10 is fire. Absolutely. All right, let's try this one, guys. This is the Penelope aged 9-year 4-grain. Here we go. Only 109 proof on this one. Wow, that's stupid crushable. Stupid crushable. Woo. This is that's nice. 109 proof. And this has just loads of sweetness. Loads of sweet, little bit of spice. Again, what do we look for in bourbon? Some might call sweet, some like spice. I love the balance. This definitely has balance. I don't know the retail price of this. I don't know how much this is going for. But the blended mash bill here, 85% corn, 10% rye, 2% wheat, and 3% barley. Non-chill filtered as well. So this is mostly corn, which really kind of, which is what really gives you all that sweetness that I'm getting. $70 for this bottle. It's good, man. It's crushable. If you guys like good, easy sipping, crushable whiskeys, this is nice. Good age statement on it. Good mouthfeel. It's creamy. Good balance to it. Even though it's that much of a sweet of 85%, you get some really good spice to it. Hey, Patrick Cohn coming in. Roughly 70 on the Penelope 9, 62 in Massachusetts. Even Jason, drinking the trifecta tonight. Love the color. The palette is so unexpected in a great way. I'm loving it. Patrick Cohn, so good to hear that, man. Patrick, wait until that trifecta opens up a little bit, man. It's just gonna, all that the Vino de Naranja is really gonna come out. Really, really cool. I was very lucky in snagging a bottle of the Barrelcraft 10th anniversary blend. We're gonna talk about that one damn thrice a little bit. Shauna Marie D in the house. What's going on, Shauna? Nice to see you. Have you ever reviewed or tasted those smoke wagons over your shoulder? Only bottles in the frame that I don't think I've ever heard you talk about. That's because I've had those bottles forever, Isaiah. I probably talked about that and reviewed those. Probably my first or second year of doing Mash and Drum. One of that blue bottle right there, that's the Desert Jewel. That's like one of the most coveted, legendary smoke wagons like ever. So that's really all I have of it. You can't even get them anymore. It's got the older MGP juice in it. So yeah, 4-leaf whiskey is here. What's going on, Stacy? So yeah, the Desert Jewel and the Desert Jewel. A lot of people were drooling over the Desert Jewel when it first came out. And then next to it is the red wax, which is a private select, which is a single barrel. So both of them are really good. Outside the star, you would try the Kentucky Owl Meister edition. I cannot say I've tried that one yet. Outside the star, I don't know. Kentucky Owl, to me, it's hard for me to pull the trigger on the prices of that. Those are, for me, always try before you buys for Kentucky Owls. And I haven't been able to try that one just yet. All right. I'm going to continue to drink this crushable whiskey. And in the meantime, let's go through some news stories, guys. A lot of news happening. Some really exciting stuff for Barton Bourbon Company has been happening. Some new releases and some not so great news for a couple of people in Kentucky. So let's start with this one. This just dropped literally a few minutes before I went live. Ardbeg announced the release of a new expression called the anamorphic. This Scotch whiskey is the result of what the Islay-based brand refers to as a highly extreme cask treatment process. So Dr. Bill Lumsden, Ardbeg's director, said this is his brainchild, his creation. So the casks that house Ardbeg Anamorphic were heavily altered by the distillery. They took bourbon casks and removed the heads from them before scoring them. After the scoring process revealed exposed wood underneath, the barrels were heavily charred to a high mocha toast level. This gives a bittersweet mocha flavor that slowly emerges with fiery chili chocolate, floral chrysanthemum, and jasmine. Wow, that's a lot going on there. The whiskey is bottled at 48.2% ABV and only available online for Ardbeg committee members. A small amount of whiskey is available for purchase in person at the Islay distillery. So the taste on this, guys: fiery, spicy flavors. Expect chili flavored chocolate, mocha, briarwood, ground pepper, and smoked artichoke. I don't think I've ever seen that tasting note on a whiskey before. Smoked artichoke? That's crazy. Toasted scotch. Yeah, basically. Everything Ardbeg is so marketing heavy. Nathan, I could not agree more, dude. It's so marketing heavy. Everything they do, Ardbeg. Besides Ardbeg Trayvon, maybe a couple of other expressions in between, we don't get anything age stated. All these committee releases are almost $200. I would be shocked if any of them are over 8 or 10 years old. Any of them. I think it's all young whiskey and they're doing all these crazy cask maturations to mask the youthful peated scotch notes in them. But that's what people are doing today, man. They're just trying to pump out so much shit. Let's see here. Who would have thunk it? Besides their marketing, Ardbeg is delicious. Besides Heavy Vapors, haven't had that one yet. Was bad. Okay, committee releases have mostly been misses. Dunny, I agree. I haven't really been a fan of a lot of the committee releases. Octomore is young, but they tell you how young it is. They tell you that's the thing about that's the thing about Bruichladdich. They're so transparent. They tell you everything, whereas Ardbeg relies on the marketing. There's a big difference there between telling you, going in, it's like a 3 or 4 year old peated scotch with all these different cask maturations versus Ardbeg that puts like a fancy cartoon on it, some crazy cask maturation, and sells it to you for $200 a pop. So how dare they use creative marketing? There's nothing wrong with creative marketing, but you're Ardbeg. Give us some information, man. I'm just saying. You're not some little distillery trying to, make some headway into the market. I can understand the fancy marketing for those situations, but if you're a long-standing distiller, come on, give us some, put some salt on it. Give us a little bit of something here. Christo Becca, I've been asked this question so many times the last couple of weeks. Parker's Rye for 3. I haven't been able to taste it. I haven't been able to get one, not yet. So, if anyone has one out there, they got the Parker's Heritage Rye. Send me a sample. I'll even pay you for it. I would love to try it and review it. I am unwilling. I'm not going to pay the crazy markup for a barrel-proof rye from Heaven Hill. I'm just not going to do it. Yeah. Jason, top 3 scotches to try when venturing out from bourbon. Ardbeg Cure of Yekin, Bunnahabhain 12-year, maybe the 18-year if you could find it. And what is my third one? Probably Springbank. I'll probably go with Springbank or even Hazelburn. Any of those. Absolutely love those distillers. I'll probably go there. Probably go there. Yeah, even excuse me. Yeah, Ugadelo Korvyekin to me is one of the best expressions on the market. So there you go. Said it. All right. Let's go to the next news story here. And this is actually big news from Bardstown Bourbon Company. So Bardstown Bourbon Company has just opened, and I'll show you the facade here. So they have just opened their tasting room in downtown Louisville with augmented reality access to limited releases and more. So this was the new tasting room, the heart of Louisville's famous Whiskey Row. Just today, the tasting room will feature an interactive educational experience, craft cocktails, augmented reality, access to exclusive releases, and more, as I stated. For this space, integrating leading-edge technology and building tasting experiences unlike anything else in the state was the key to doing that. Bardstown Bourbon Company has the opportunity to speak to a much larger audience in downtown Louisville and merge the best of design, experience, and storytelling in order to do so. The tasting room is set to offer 3 educational tasting experiences priced from $25 to $35 a piece. Reservations are encouraged and can be booked right now through the website. They have the art of blending experience. Yeah, should be pretty cool. And on top of that, like I said, it's kind of, well, here's another shot of the inside, guys, if you haven't seen this yet. I mean, this is very quintessential Bardstown Bourbon Company. It's super modern, yet somewhat traditional at the same time. It's got stuff that's familiar, stuff that's new. It's very clean, very, very kind of, it still has that little bit of a traditional type of whiskey experience to it with the wood and the brick, but it's also got some elements that make it a little bit modern. But on top of that, Bardstown Bourbon Company was just voted the top-rated bourbon, and this one is, let's see, Worldwide Whiskey Producer of the Year for 2023 at the International Wine and Spirits Competition. Now, whatever you guys want to say about awards, this is a pretty big deal. And, so congrats to Bardstown Bourbon Company. When we opened our doors, we were humbled by the response and the need to fulfill in the industry. The brand said in Friday's news release, we are passionate. Yep. In a spirits competition with origins that date back to 1969, according to the International World Awards here, over 12,000 brands enter each year, making it highly competitive. So congratulations to Bardstown Bourbon Company. That's awesome. They have been making some incredible whiskeys for the last several years. So congrats to them. I think that's pretty cool. Absolutely. This reminds me, I need to go get my hands on a Bardstown Origin Rye. Let's see here. World's Worst Bourbon Channel's in the house. What is going on, Gary? Nice to see you. Guys, go give World's Worst Bourbon Channel a follow. Absolutely. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Hope you and Fancy France, you're doing okay. All right. A couple of other quick releases here, quick news stories. Let me see here. This one's pretty serious, and this is something that we dealt with a couple years ago, and this has to do with the whiskey tariffs. So there's a serious threat that's looming over American distillers, and that's a 50% whiskey tariff. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or been keeping up on this, but on Saturday, the Distilled Spirits Council of the United States released a statement in response to the failure to reach an agreement between the U.S. and the European Commission involving the EU's American whiskey tariff moratorium. Now, the tariffs are projected to return starting January 1st, this time at 50%, which is just nuts. Now, the American whiskey distillers are obviously worried about what the future holds. Now, since the EU suspended its 25% retaliatory tariff on American whiskeys, the U.S., it's bounced back to pre-tariff levels, and things have been really good. Now, if this happens again and the tariffs they don't come to a resolution, it's the return of tariffs would bring this positive momentum to a screeching halt. Everything would just kind of end. So they need to find a way to remove these tariffs permanently. There's a lot of uncertainty around it, especially with the international markets. Now, the original tariffs were imposed in 2018 by the EU as a retaliatory measure due to America's imposed tariffs on steel and aluminum. So the American whiskey exports plummeted by 20% following the tariffs from 552 million to 440 million. So this is a big deal. This is something that's extremely important for the United States to figure this shit out, because this could be absolutely excuse me, this could be absolutely devastating to the American distillers industry. So I hope they get their shit together and figure it out, to be honest. Yeah. So let's see. Sell more of that bourbon here at home and drop the damn prices. This also reinstate the scotch tariff. I'm not sure it only refers to American whiskey, Lionel, but that's a good question. I would assume that it does. So yeah, I would buy your Scotch or Irish before the end of the year. So Jonathan Ely, yeah, I would assume that as well. But yeah, that's kind of a big deal. That's definitely a big deal, and I hope they get that figured out, because that would be absolutely devastating to the American whiskey industry. Let's go to this crazy bottle, and I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. I actually just saw this pop up yesterday. The 10th Boss Hog is here. The 10th Boss Hog is here, and it's rewriting the laws of whiskey. Again, another brand rewriting the laws of whiskey. This is the 10th Boss Hog Rye Whiskey, featuring 2 inventive, unorthodox barrel finishes. I got to say, that's a pretty sexy looking bottle. I will say that. So on Tuesday, Vermont distillery Whistlepig announced the 10th release in its priciest and most experimental series, the Boss Hog. This is the 10 Commandments. It's a rye whiskey aged in new oak barrels, sourced from Canada. Whistlepig finishes this limited edition whiskey in 2 unusual types of barrels. The first finishing barrel contained unorthodox spirit that Whistlepig distilled from rye and whey. That's right, rye and whey, W-H-E-Y. Rye and whey, and infused with aromatic resins from Boswellia and Commiphora trees. Probably said that all wrong. According to Whistlepig, these resins are commonly known as frankincense and myrrh, and imbue the whiskey with notes of creme brulee, lemongrass, and rosemary. After being finished in the resin barrels, the Boss Hog 10 underwent a second finishing period in craft mead casks. So mead casks. The Boss Hog 10 is topped with a pewter pig-headed figure that Whistlepig describes as the lawmaker and rule breaker of rye whiskey. The bottle is presented in the gift box with the 10 Commandments, with Whistlepig says apply to this and all future Boss Hog releases. Yeah, so there's literally 10 commandments on it. 1 is single barrel, 2 is bottled at proof, 3 powerfully complex, 4 is distinctly unique, 5 is stupendous, 6 is fearlessly first amongst all whiskeys, 7 is inspired by the unfamiliar, 8 is irreverently inventive, 9 is made for drinking, and 10 is knows no bounds. So I don't know. What say you? $850 for, is that an $850 whiskey? What's the price here? Yeah, it's $600. Bottled between 105.3 and 107 proof. The Commandments has a suggested retail price of $600. Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't know who in the hell is buying this. I mean, first of all, you have collectors that are going to want to get that bottle because they're going to want, if they're collecting all the Boss Hogs, they're going to want to get that full vertical, especially the 10th. Thou shalt not buy. This is their commandment. Damn, that is freaking really good. Yeah, guys, I'm a fan of the Penelope. If you could find this for retail, $65, $70. This is a really nice blend. 9-year, 10-year-old whiskey. Kentucky, Indiana, sweet, savory, a little spicy. Absolutely fantastic blend. Danny did a really good job with this one. I don't always enjoy all the different Penelope stuff, but this one is really, really good. I'm definitely dipping on this one. Loving it. Don't believe in the hype. Okay, is there anything else I needed to talk about here? Oh yeah, our feature bottle here tonight, which we'll get into in a bit. We're going to talk about Michael Simon and his brand that we have here. But before we do that, what time is it? 9:49 already. Oh my God, falling behind. All right. Really, what I wanted to talk about a little bit here tonight was the some hidden gems, not hidden gems, but really sneaky good bourbons that I've had this year. I was kind of thinking, what am I going to do this year for my stream? I really only had a day or two since I just got back from vacation. Only had a day or two to kind of figure it out. So what I did was kind of think, oh man, I mean, some of these could be sneaky good bourbons, like this one, Widow Jane's the Vaults, age 15-year, 2023 release. So this is a blend of Tennessee and Indiana whiskeys, aged a minimum of 15 years and blended in small batches before finishing for 3 months in air-seasoned casks at Widow Jane's Red Hook Rickhouse. Finishing barrels are made from chinquapin oak staves harvested from trees grown on a limestone-rich shelf in northern Kentucky. And there you go. 99 proof for this one. So I heard so many good things about last year's that actually, and this bottle just came today. So thanks to my buddy Nate for sending this to me, man. And I wanted to get first impressions on this one. So as far as like some sneaky good bottles that I've had this year, now some of them were bottles that I did not like. I tried for the first time. So and then some were bottles that ended up being better than I thought they would be. So you guys have heard me talk about this one. Technically, it's not a bourbon, but JT Melick is definitely one of them. JT Melick, Louisiana whiskey. This is a 100% rice whiskey. This definitely surprised me this year. It's a definite sneaky good whiskey, not so much a bourbon. However, it's got such unique, like you would never think a rice whiskey could bring you those types of flavors. I absolutely love it. By the way, Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, our JT Melick single barrel pick, we still have some available through Shared Pour if you guys want to go try one of those. If you've never had a JT Melick rice whiskey, I mean, we loved it so much we had to try to get a single barrel of it, and we did, and it's really, really that good. Yeah, not so much a bourbon, 0% of bourbon. Yeah, pretty much. All right, so some sneaky good bourbons this year. This one really surprised me, and it's this one, Jefferson's Tropics. Now, I did a review on this one. Normally, I am not really a big Jefferson's guy, but this bourbon really actually surprised me. It's deep, it's rich, it's got a lot of concentrated flavor. Yeah, I mean, the age and humidity story is kind of part of it, but probably one of the more flavorful Jeffersons that I've ever had. This one really surprised me. I think it's an actual really sneaky good bourbon. I don't think a lot of people talked about this one. Definitely a kind of a surprise one. I'll be doing a surprise whiskey list here at the end of the year, but I thought tonight just kind of going through some of my sneaky good bourbons as I taste through these would be kind of fun. Jefferson's Tropics Watermelon Saltwater Taffy Whiskey Juice. What a Jefferson's worth getting. Shocked, I tell you. We'll have to give it a go. This just came out this year. Again, it's just, yeah, it's a weird, funky, but good bourbon. Like, I don't know. There's something different about it and unique that I like. Genuinely, I think Jefferson's are overpriced and over kind of marketed. And I could, I was definitely wanting to go that route with this one, but I actually ended up really kind of liking this one. I'm actually have a pour of that a little bit. So, yeah, best Jefferson's according to some. Yeah, Joe, this is kind of where I'm in. I think it's one of the better releases they've done in a long time. Tropics is surprisingly good. I bought it specifically because of your recommendation. Yeah, I really thought it was pretty solid. What would you compare it to? I don't know. You're gonna have to give me a minute, whiskey juice, on that one. All right. So this is the Widow Jane Vaults, 15 years, Cinque Pin Oak, not a high proof. I could tell you, I could smell the Dickel. It's the one thing about this bottle. I'm trying to remember the last time I had George Dickel whiskey, and I am definitely MJ. Nothing like Chicken Cock Tropical. I promise you. I mean, I can. Man, this nose is all over the place. Yeah, I could smell a little bit of that Tennessee whiskey, but I'm also getting like a ridiculous amount of chocolate on this. It's kind of nice here on the nose. This is all marshmallows. I mean, this is straight up toasted marshmallow fluff in a glass. It really is. Wow. It's like chocolate covered marshmallows. A little bit of I don't know if that's apple I get there too. That's kind of crazy. Oh man, what? This thing is all over the place. That candied orange note that I usually get from high age George Dickel's kind of in here too. All right, let's try this one here. It's dark, which I like. A little bit of molasses. Again, more of the chocolate. Maybe a hint of like a dark, like a raisin or a date in there too. This bottle is all over the place, to be honest, guys. It's I don't really even know. I don't even know how to. It's going from I get like that Dickel Tennessee whiskey vibe, and then it goes really dark, and then it goes really bright, and then it gets really sweet. It kind of takes you on a little bit of a roller coaster, which I like. The one thing that's killing it for me, guys, and you guys can probably guess, is that there's really not much of a finish here. The finish is nice, it's sweet, but it kind of falls off a little bit too quickly for me. Man. The finish is also a little drying, I think, from that secondary finish. Jason, you should make a video about your collection. Yeah, I'm actually Tony. I'm actually trying to work on that a little bit. I just have to clean. I have to organize all my bottles in here. I got floor whiskey everywhere. I just have too much crap everywhere right now. But yes, I do need to do a collection video. It's one of my top requested videos. Yeah, I'll definitely get to work on that for sure. Yeah, you lost me at Dickel. The Master Drum, Betty says it's not worth it. Yeah, I don't think this is worth the $200 and something that they're asking for it. It's got this really nice chocolate-covered almond marshmallow note on it that I like, but I just wish it lasted longer. I want it to go further and last longer, and it's just not for me, unfortunately. So, all right, well, I'm gonna let that open up, see what happens there. Not too happy about that one. All right, so some other sneaky good bottles here from this year. Let's go with. I mean, it's hard not to mention K. Luke. K. Luke, I think, is one of those brands that just kind of came on the scene this year and just blew everybody out of the water with the quality of these blends. I don't know. I just think these are absolutely fantastic. Batches 4, batch 6. I got to see how 5 comes out when I do the blind video. You can have really good bourbon and still have it be worth anywhere near what the asking price is. Oh, for sure. Joe Waniger, here are my 97 different Russell single barrels. Here, my Joe. First of all, it's only like 62 picks. I'm just saying. What was what's the blind? Let's see here. Quadruple base. Generations Russell 13, Rick House, Rare Breed. All right, I'm gonna screenshot that real quick so I don't forget. I will do that. I actually will do that one. I like it. All right. Fred lost his mind over batch 6K Luke. Yeah, I mean, this is batch 6, and it's really good. I could see why Fred liked this one. I think this is more his profile. I think 4 is a little bit sweeter, which I think more the masses liked. Worst bourbon, George Dickel, Tabasco barrel finish. Watch Generations come in last. Generations has opened up really nicely. It might not come in last. I'm just saying. All right, next sneaky bourbon. Ben Holiday. Has anybody had the Holiday? This stuff is incredibly delicious. Not enough people are talking about this. This is an absolutely delicious bourbon. This is my second bottle of this soft red wheat, bottled in bond. I love the first one so much. I tore through it. I got a backup. And these are so good. What I mean, straight out of Missouri, however you want to say it. Ben Holiday is making some seriously good whiskey. These are just some sneaky, really good bourbons that have kind of hit the market in the last year, maybe year and a half. I mean, it's so good. I don't think people are giving its credit. Some of this stuff that I've had will take down a lot of the special releases that I've had this year, including that Widow Jane Vaults. But really good. I know we're talking a little bit about Barton Bourbon Company, but I mean, the Origin series this year, how good is the Origin series? The Origin series this year, I thought was just a perfect tip of the cap for what Barton Bourbon Company has been doing over the last several years, aging up their whiskey. They got a wheater, they got a rye bourbon, and they have a delicious rye as well. Are they still kind of hard to find? Yes, unfortunately. But I still think, Barton Bourbon Company, when you bring out a special release that's aged up to, 6-7 years old, it's just going to take time to keep producing it to get it out on the market. However, this stuff is just, for the price, the age, for what you get compared to some of the other stuff coming out these days, it's, just super sneaky good bourbons and whiskeys. I don't think people give this stuff enough credit. I'm going to stick with Barrel here. Barrel Craft Spirits. These last few releases they've done. Batch 34, 35. And I'm going to cap it off with this one. The Barrel 10-year anniversary bottle. Now, this was released, I think, via online during their store. I don't know if you can get this anymore. I think it's sold out via online. I don't know if they're releasing any more of this. But this bourbon right here, you're going to see a full video on this soon. This bourbon is so good. This includes, I think, so 10 years ago, let's see, 10th anniversary bourbon is an homage to 10 years of incredible blends. Okay, so blend components for this one. Tennessee, 8, 13, 17, and 8 years old. Indiana, 8 and 9. Kentucky, 8 years old. Mash bill, corn, 83%. Rye, 10%. Malted barley, 7%. I'll tell you this, guys. I know people hear the Tennessee and they want to run away. You really don't taste it in this. It's an absolutely phenomenal blend. And I think these batches, 35 and 34, I think 35 was the one that tastes like Mexican hot chocolate. It is so stupid good. And 34, I think people tend to just kind of overlook the regular barrel bourbon batches that get released. And I know it's kind of a roll of the dice, especially when you're looking at some of the components that are in here. I still say these are a try before you buy. I really do, honestly. However, if you do try these, the Tennessee whiskey really isn't that prevalent in most of the new ones. And the flavors in here are absolutely fantastic. So I think these are just really sneaky good releases this year so far. A ton of Origin in Michigan. Need that number 35. One other one I want to talk about is Green River. This is their weeder. Not only Green River weeded bourbon, but just their regular bourbon and also their newly released single barrels. Absolutely fantastic whiskeys. Master Journey Whiskey Club. We're heading down next month to Green River to do our first ever single barrel pick of Green River bourbon. We cannot wait to do that one. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to go through the whole experience and just taste some of those amazing single barrels that Green River has to offer. I've only had a couple of them, and they've been really good. They come in about 120 proof plus. They have a lot of flavor, a lot of viscosity to it. But these $35 weeded bourbons and regular bourbon, I think, are just really solid whiskeys for the money. Just really good stuff. And I think, again, this tends to get overlooked. These little like affordable shelfers that hit the market that not only people get to that are accessible and affordable, but I mean, I just think it's just a really good whiskey. So I just think that when something like this comes onto the market, very much like the Origin series, and this is even cheaper than the Origin series, I think it's a win for all whiskey consumers because you don't always have to chase, the unicorn to get just really good bourbon. So, another sneaky good bourbons here that were released from Nashville Barrel Company were these Nash Tucky single barrels. So Nash Tucky basically means they took some Kentucky bourbon barrels that they sourced and brought them over to Nashville, and they've been aging there for a little bit. I don't think a lot more of these are going to be releasing, but these are really good if you got the right cask. They released stuff from Jim Beam, from Buffalo Trace. They had a bunch of these that were out there in the market. Some of them were absolutely insanely good, even though they were a little bit youthful. This one has a 5-year age statement on it. But these Nash Tuckies, I think, were really sneaky good for the price and the money. And you got to try some Kentucky single barrels at cask strength from distillers you don't normally get to try that stuff at. So really cool stuff. I like it. Green River Weeded, that's in my top 5 bourbons. Yes, that Green River Weeded is way more impressive than the rye recipe. I agree, taste and sensibility. Yep. Let's see here. Go Green River, Origin. Wow, type that before you pull the bottle up. Weird, says John Bornick. Reading my mind. Yep. A lot of weeders in this list. Well, I didn't pull out all the bottles for everybody, but you know what I'm talking about. What else do I have here? Yeah, I have that. I have that. A brand that we brought up, not exactly a bourbon, but Hard Truth. I definitely want to call out Hard Truth this year because I think these guys just absolutely have just been doing nothing but fantastic things with rye whiskeys. Again, just sneaky good ryes. I know people aren't too crazy about some of this stuff being a $70 to $80 bottle, and it's a 3 to 4 year rye whiskey. However, when you taste it, you know why that this stuff is making so much noise in kind of the whiskey verse right now. Master Journey, we did a pick of it, and it's absolutely stellar. It's so viscous and just so sweet and delicious. Absolutely love what Hard Truth Rye is doing. This is just really good stuff. So really digging that. Where's some of the other bottles I pulled out here? Yeah, I'm just going crazy going through all this. Excuse me. I'll say this: 13th Colony. Exclude the double oak that everyone's going bananas for. Their regular Southern Rye and Southern Bourbon, I think, are really good offerings as well. I think a lot of people are going crazy for just the double oaked for good reason. I get it, but their Southern Rye and Southern Bourbon, I think, are really good too. So don't overlook those when talking about 13th Colony as well. Man, what else? Yeah, there's a lot more I have to go through and go through, but those are some of the main bottles. But maybe there could be another one here tonight. This one. How could I forget about this one? This bottle, I think, is probably one of the most overlooked and one of the most sneaky good, and that is the Remus High Rye. The Remus High Rye 6-year age-stated bourbon whiskey, guys. This stuff is stupid good for the money. If you like high rye, again, if you don't like a lot of spice, you want a smooth experience, you want that smooth, whiskey experience, this might not be for you. But man, citrus, cinnamon, baking spices. Just this is an absolutely stellar bourbon. I think these are about $60. They're 6 years old. They're 100. They come in over 100 proof. It's a perfect proof point. These are absolutely stellar. And if anybody is sleeping on these, then wake up, because these are really, really good. Jason, you have bottles everywhere in there, says Richie. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, this stuff is just it's yeah. I mean, that's all I could say about it. I'm doing a What's on the Shelf Wednesday video of this pretty soon. This isn't everywhere quite yet, guys, and I get that part. This is, however, in Ohio. So if you live in Ohio, you could probably find this. And I think when I was in Tennessee, I saw this. And I think when I was in, did I see this when I was in Colorado? No, because I didn't go into a whiskey shop. Shocking, right? I went to another state and didn't go whiskey shopping. That's pretty, it's pretty surprising. Yeah, the proof on that one is 109 proof. The Rossville Union cask strength is awesome, so not surprised. We'll have to do a side-by-side. Have you tried the Old Forester King Ranch, says David Behrens? Yeah, I have the first release, but I don't have the second one. So, all right, guys, let's try this before we get into Blendageddon. Hopefully I don't blow my palate out with this one right here. So let's talk about River Roots. Oh, I don't want to break the cork again like I did last week. I literally ripped the cork top off of my Larceny last week. You should do double base between the Remus and the Origin High Rye. So that's a good idea, Mike. I should do that one. Ooh, okay. Got a different glass for this one. Man, look at that color. Holy crap. All right. So this, if you guys don't know who Michael Symon is, now Michael Symon has been he's been a fixture on Food Network, but him and his partners have launched River Roots Barrel Company. The venture will allow groups to taste, select, and bottle their own single barrel of whiskey. So eventually, we're gonna see kind of a single barrel program out of this. Celebrity chef Michael Symon has announced the formation of River Roots Barrel Company, a Cleveland-based venture here in Ohio, geared to whiskey enthusiasts like himself. Along with partners Michael Boland and Ryan Lintz, Symon will extend the rare privilege of tasting and selecting single barrel whiskeys to casual customers. Right now, as a normal consumer, you can't readily go to any of the major domestic distillers and taste barrels of whiskey and then pick one you like based on your palate, explains Boland. We are offering any person or group the ability to schedule an appointment to come in, taste a handful of barrels, and then choose one. Ideal for groups of friends, bourbon clubs, and bar and restaurant owners. So first up is this one, 140 proof, 13-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon that was aged for 6 years in port wine barrels, and a cask strength 5-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon. We wanted to come out of the gate strong. We meticulously selected bourbons that highlight the epitome of bourbon's finest flavors, says Lintz. Let's see here. Yeah, the one issue with this one, guys, this is a very expensive bottle. And when they sent me this bottle, they did say that they were probably going to take a lot of heat for the price. And, it's expensive, rightfully so. But what isn't expensive these days? It's just part of the deal, unfortunately. Everybody, yeah, he's from Cleveland. Symon is legit. I learned how to do a spatchcocked chicken, like on the grill, or turkey. I watched that whole episode that he did it, so I could do it. It was delicious. So yeah. Now, when I saw the stats, I'm like, could this go head to head with with 13 Colony and the double oaked, type of whiskey experience, being at such a high proof with that finish on it. Let's see. It's not 600 expensive. Wait, what's the price? So the price on this, I think, is about $275, something like this. But again, the stats, guys, 13-year, it is age stated, 13-year Kentucky bourbon. Doesn't say where, doesn't say Bardstown. It just says aged in Kentucky on it. And the proof is 146.56 proof. I'm coughing just thinking about it. What kind of chicken? It's when you split the chicken and you kind of break it and you kind of, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say that word again because I'm going to mess it up. Well, the River Roots building is right by my house up here in Cleveland, says John Van Norvik. All right. On the nose. I'll hold this up for you guys real quick. You guys can see the close-up here. So you could see pick number 1 on the bottom. And you can see kind of the details there on the bottom. Age 13 years. And there's the proof, 146.56. What's up, Mr. Mushnik? Go Rangers. Yeah, there it is. Spatchcock. That's what you do. That's it. Spatchcock, John Farron. That's what I did. That's what I did watching Michael Simon. So Michael Simon, if you're watching, thank you for teaching me that. Delicious. And he did it on a smoker, I believe. So you don't get a ton of proof on here. What time is it? Okay, 10:15. I got to get into Blendageddon here. But you definitely get the port. This has been in port for a while. So it's a little bit chocolatey. Tons of dark fruit here. Raisin, plum, honey. Whew. Man, that's a proofy bastard right there. With something this dark, I get concerned that the port is going to overshadow the bourbon. Look how dark that is, guys. I mean, that's a dark pour right there. That's a big pour. All right, let's try this one here. Wow. It's a lot of port. I think what we have here is the port finish really kind of took over the bourbon. But it's, I mean, this is an absolute dark fruit bomb. That's what you get here. Chocolate, raisin. Wow. I mean, you definitely get the heat. The heat's there. It's thick, it's viscous, it's got a lot of great flavor to it. However, the port finish on this is very strong. And I think for some people, you could pick up a little bit of that sulfur that you get in some of those old wine casks. Port wine, a little bit of sulfur that you pick up. And I feel like I'm getting that in here a little bit. This is going to need some time to open up because right now it just seems like it's really tight. It needs some time to develop here. Being that it's that proofy, I'm going to do a couple drops of water here, see what it does. I'm going to proof it down a bit, see if it kind of cuts through that that sulfur a little bit. That does help it a little bit. But yeah, I just think the port finish kind of overtook the bourbon in this aspect. Is it good? Yeah. Is it $275 good? No. I would, man, it's just too much port. The port just completely overshadowed the bourbon, I think, a little bit here. It's not really in balance. You feel like you're just drinking a hot port wine spirit, but I feel like this needs to open up because it's just too hot. It's drinking really hot right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this in a clean, actually, let me put this aside. I'm going to pour a new one in a clean glass here. What's going on with this cork? Jesus. I'm going to let this open up here a little bit. Okay. So far, the Penelope tonight is a winner. Like the Wild Turkey, Widow Jane the Vaults, meh. I don't think that's worth the price. I'd rather just buy a single barrel Dickel. If I want that Tennessee whiskey vibe, get that single barrel 15-year George Dickel whiskies over 100 proof. I think that might be a little bit more of a for $60. That might be a little bit easier of a sell than the Widow Jane, unfortunately. So yeah, my palate's ready. I think I've had enough whiskey, guys. It is time to get into Blendageddon. Good luck to all the contestants. Let's go. yeah, all right, here we go, baby. Good luck to all the contestants tonight. I just have to run upstairs. And I'm out of breath. I forgot the blend details upstairs. I have to run upstairs and get those. All right, so let's do this real quick. Let's get the banner on. Let's get the overlay on. And let's get some little music going here. And we ready. All right. Good luck to all the blenders here. Best of luck, everyone. All right, guys. Frankenblends. Eric Sawyer, he is the reigning champion of the American blends from last year. Let's go to the bracket. I'll show you guys who is in the running tonight. Did that again. That's the video. Here's the bracket. So as you can see tonight, we have Eric Sawyer, Smokey Joe, Henry Turner, Joshua Maxwell, Oisin Hayes, and Danny Lopez. Now, the names of these blends tonight are pretty awesome. Eric Sawyer is 2 times B. Smokey Joe is Holiday Brunch. Henry Turner is 21. Joshua Maxwell is Babies in Reno with the vitamin D. Oisin Hayes is King's Dancing Character. And Danny Lopez is the Canadian Dragon Punch. So those are the names of the blends. There you go, guys. What? You should quit the cigar, says Jay's working. Yeah, I had to like friggin' haul ass up the stairs. I was fine. I'm like, how long is that video? How long do I got? I sprinted. All right, I'm good now. Catching my breath. All right. These are E, F. Kind of do A. Kind of keep them in order here. That's the D. There's the B. This should be A. There's A. A, B, C. There's the D. And E and F, right? Yeah. All right. We are set. All right, guys. Good luck to everybody tonight. The top 2 blenders will go next week into the finals with my special guest judge. So here we go. Smokey Joe is not an ADHD name. Smokey Joe is actually I know Smokey Joe, so I don't think Matt entered anything this year, unfortunately, but we'll see. All right, let's go to the first one, guys. And as always, just because I love chatting with you guys, if you have any questions in the chat, feel free to throw them in and let me know. If you have any questions about releases, any videos, anything we got coming out, let me know. Real quick note, all you Mash and Journey Whiskey Club members, we have the wild turkey barrels that were selected in August that we thought we weren't going to see till next year. They're pretty much in. So we're actually going to see our 2 Russell's picks and our Kentucky Spirit pick this year. And not just this year, but soon. So stay tuned for that. A little bit of an announcement there, you guys. So here we go. It's Joe Gregory. It's actually Jimmy McGill. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's Smokey Joe right there. What's up, Smokey Joe? Nice to see you, man. Wow, this, speaking of Smokey Joe, I don't know if this is his, but this is all smoke. All smoke. Dano, the drift list we'll probably see before. We'll definitely see the drift list before we see the wild turkeys, and then we may see the Butter Pecan, my Burai blend that I did before the drift list. We'll see which comes first. Question: what is a good store of value for the future 2 years and 6 years? It says Tora Podi. What is a good store of value? A good store of value. Not sure what you mean. Like an online store, Tora? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Paul P. Still nothing on the Peerless barrels yet. This doesn't smell like peat smoke. This smells like campfire smoke. This is different. I mean, there could be some peated smoke in here, but I'm getting way more of like a campfire in here, guys. Way more of a campfire. This is meaty, steaky, like steak grizzle that was just sitting on the like a cast iron skillet. Big Vic, Jason, that butter pecan sold out, bro. Joe Gregory, who is the guest judge? We don't have a guest judge tonight, unfortunately, because the samples were delayed and didn't make it to him overnight. So it was supposed to be Dusty Dan tonight, unfortunately. So, but next week we'll definitely have a guest judge here, maybe live here in the studio. We'll see. All right, let's try this one. That one's crazy. It's like a sweet smoke. It's a super sweet, smoky blend. It hits the front of your palate with a lot of smoke, and then there's like this kick of sweetness to it, almost like you get it like a I don't know. Let me get another sip of that. Yeah, Dan, you would love this, dude. That's really good. That's really nice. It is smoky, sweet. It's unique. It's different. I like that a lot. But for that to be the first one, that's going to be tough for these others to come off of that one. That one's nuts. Store value, like save your time and energy, aka bourbon, beef, bullets, or Bitcoin. What's the best value? I still think whiskey is a good value right now to invest in. However, I think when it comes to pricing, I don't know, the way the economy is right now, I don't know how these bourbon high prices can be sustainable over time. I just don't see it. I just don't see how they could keep bringing out these bourbons at these high prices with the way the economy is fluctuating. You know, I don't know how the war is going to affect anything like that. You know, we have to see. But I just think it's a tricky area right now for whiskey, especially with all these high price releases that keep just coming out week after week after week. I just don't know how sustainable that is given the state of the economy, unfortunately. So, you know, we have to see what happens as time goes on. But right now, you know, my concern for whiskey is the high prices, and the prices just keep going up. Everything becomes more limited, more rare, more of a marketing type thing just to get people to buy it. There's always a story, and I totally get that part. You have to have that. But the prices are just, it's rough. It's rough right now. All right, let's go to B. Dusty Dan has an awesome channel. Love his Sagamore pick. Yep, absolutely, Joe. There are enough rich people out there collecting, so there's a market. There is a market, but I mean, I mean, even for me, I mean, I still buy some of the high price stuff. Now, if I wasn't reviewing these bourbons and whiskeys, would I still buy it? I kind of ask myself that. I don't know if I would. Maybe I would. That's tough. This is super sweet on the nose. Coming off of A, this is like pure candy in a glass. This is butterscotch. Man. Yeah, I mean, what Rick House or the Wild Turkey picks from, says David Smith. So we picked a Tyrone K, a Tyrone D, and a, what's the third one? Damn. I think I want to say E. Might be E. I have them picked right here. So we did a Tyrone D. That's going to be a Russell's Reserve. We did a K, which is going to be a Russell's Reserve. Yes, and we did, I'm sorry, a Tyrone T. T is in Tom. That's the other one. That one's going to be the Kentucky Spirit. So there you go. All right, let's try this one. This one smells delicious. That one is sweet and solid. A little bit of caramel on the back end. A little brown sugar too. A little nuttiness. I'm also getting like a little banana in there too. Wonder what that is. Little hint of banana. Best, Jason, Jefferson's Tropics is a gem, kind of pricey at $90. I know, but I mean, I feel like Jefferson's anything Jefferson's is going to be a little bit expensive no matter what. But I really enjoy the Tropics. I think it's a very underrated bourbon this year. Not a lot of people are talking about it because people just tend to overlook Jefferson's a little bit. Jason, pass on a black art for $700. Thoughts? Wade Ward, I think that's probably a good move. I think the proof points just to keep getting lower and lower on those black arts, and I don't like it. If you're going to give me that old of a whiskey, stop. You know, I wanted a cast strength. And I'm not sure if they're proofing it down or not, but if they are, I can see them trying to extend the life of that whiskey because they could just sell more $700 bottles, and I get that part of it. But I wanted to get back to like 4.1 status where it was a higher proof on your bigger bang for your buck and flavor for your money. So that's where I'm at with those. Ooh, second sip was totally different. Second sip came off like salty. What the hell is that? It's like a salty banana. It's banana, lemon, salt. What the hell is that? That is a crazy blend. I've never had anything like that. That's crazy. Jason, do you have the Augusta Buckner 13 year? I have one of them. I'm, kind of hot and cold with the Augusta stuff. I mean, the one I have is Barton. It's just sourced, overpriced Barton bourbon. Some of them are really good. I mean, who isn't sourcing and putting a high price tag on stuff? So Jason, I know you usually prefer M10 rye, but love this year's M10 bourbon. How would you rank this year's M10 bourbon versus this year's rye? The M10 bourbon rye, I really like this year. Again, those are usually pretty consistent, but the M10 bourbon is just on another level this year, Kenneth. There's no way around it. Wow. It's really good. Man, that's a nice blend. All right, I'll have to go back to that one. I'm getting more banana on number 3. What is happening? You guys are using Old Forester 17. This is banana pudding in a glass on number 3. All banana pudding. Yeah, the D-backs taking out the Phillies for the going to the World Series. The most boring World Series in history. Texas versus D-backs. Nobody's watching that. Sorry, baseball. You have two not so big markets. Now, I mean, Texas is a large state, but they have multiple teams in that state. But the Texas Rangers, I don't think is exactly the giant market. So you have these two small market teams kind of going head to head in the World Series. That's not what baseball wants. Nobody's watching that shit. Sorry. DL with their rules for the blends. So stick with the Lucky 7 Proprietor over the Buckner, cheaper and older. Paul P, absolutely. If you're gonna go for Source Barton, go with the Lucky 7. Oh, something went wrong in that one. I mean, it's banana, but it's weird banana. Brown Foreman Mega Blends, yeah. Let's go Rangers, says Scotty Mac. I mean, yeah. Master Drum, which QB would you like to see the Falcons draft this year? Mr. Jigs. Unfortunately, Mr. Jigs, I don't think they're going to get a good quarterback in the draft if they end up falling. I don't know. I think as maddening as it is to watch Desmond Ridder, A lot of mistakes he's making. Hopefully he's just learning from them. I have no idea what the Falcons are up this 1 week. They're down this week. They're absolutely maddening to watch. But nobody has figured anything out in football. San Francisco looked like they weren't going to lose a game for the rest of the year, and they just lost 2 in a row. Dallas looked not great against San Francisco. Philadelphia lost a game. Miami doesn't do well against really good. Nobody knows anything about football. Nobody. You think you know, and then when you think you know, the NFL says you're wrong. Nobody knows shit. All these analysts crack me up when I watch them on like ESPN or NFL Network. They don't know anything, and it's hilarious every single week. This is a banana bomb. I don't know who blended this, but it's basically all banana. Banana pudding. I mean, that's all it is. All right, let's go to blend number 4 here. Taylor Swift note. Oh, this is okay. All right, now we're getting somewhere, guys. This smells really, really nice. Oh man, that's the best nose of the night right there. Hopefully, it matches on the palate. The Desmond Ritter needs to be an M&J pick name, says Dana. Oh, yeah, it should be. My Bengals are 3-3 right now at the bottom of the AFC North. It's insanity. Yeah, but they're starting to get a little bit better right now. And then on top of that, unfortunately, the Ravens are starting to pick up their pace a little bit too. So, yeah, the Chiefs are still very good. I mean, I don't think anyone can knock the Chiefs off the pedestal quite yet. The Chiefs are awesome. Yep. But even the Chiefs don't look as dominant offensively as they used to. Their defense, I think, is what's really helping them win games right now. So, obviously, I watch a lot of football. So, all right, let's try this one here. Not as sweet on the palate. The palate's actually very different. It's unique. I'm trying to decide whether I like it or not. Joe Burrow got paid and forgot how to play. Taylor Swift, a good luck charm or not. Chiefs versus Lions Super Bowl. But the Lions just got smoked. The Lions just got smoked by Baltimore. Everybody was all on the Lions bandwagon, and then they went and played Baltimore and smacked them down to reality. So, EJ, how about them Wolverines, though? The Michigan Wolverines? You mean the cheating scandal that they're going through? Dude, the Michigan Wolverines haven't played anybody. I'm not impressed with Michigan until they play someone that's actually got a decent record. That is the thing that I don't understand about college football. You know, this is a guy coming from New York, coming to Ohio, where, you know, the Ohio State University and the Buckeyes, you know, everyone's all in on the Buckeyes, and I get it. There's nothing like going to a college football game. Ohio State games are some of the funnest experiences I've had just as a casual fan or just as a football fan watching games. But it's like you're happy when you're just completely destroying a team. But the minute the game gets close, you get a little bit nervous. But it all leads up to the end of the year when you're playing like your arch rival. But for most of the year, you're playing scrubs. You're playing just, you know, mediocre to bad teams that you're going to destroy, and everybody gets all happy about that. I don't understand that aspect of it. Like, I want to watch a game. I don't want to watch 53-0, but I guess that's what you need to do to get up in the rankings before you could play someone good. But Michigan hasn't played anybody yet, and Ohio State beat Penn State. That was a very impressive win. They beat Notre Dame by the skin of their teeth. But, you know, I don't know. Something has happened in the last couple of years when Ohio State plays Michigan. So we'll see what happens. All right. Paul P. I don't follow curling, but I want to learn how to play curling. This is an okay blend. I don't think there's anything overwhelming about it. It's just a solid blend for number 4 here. But it's not really sticking out like some of the others. All right, let's go to number 5 here. Ohio State also played a stupid, overrated Notre Dame team. Yeah, I could see that. America doesn't care if you cheat, ask Houston. Yeah, if you're in the SEC, you obviously play a lot better teams. There's more competition there. Learn how to play curling. Yeah, just, you know, sweep. I feel like I could sweep the ice pretty good. Number D. Great nose on this one. This is super fruit forward. Probably one of the most fruit forward noses we've had tonight. Like juicy fruit gum. I get like toasted coconut here. This is more on the tropical side of things, which is kind of nice. Very different. Man, the nose is on fire tonight. I'm just smelling all sorts of stuff, good and bad. All right, cheers. Here we go. Well, that's nice. So none of these blends I've had tonight so far are blowing me away. They're all pretty steady. They have their separate nuances that I think are separating themselves from one another. But it's not like last week where I felt like there were a couple of blends there that had like the punch of flavor, the long finish. This one I just tasted, number 5, letter D, whatever you want to call it. Actually, letter E. This would be E. This one might have the most balanced and best finish so far that I've had, which might be at the top of the list right now. Man, I think there is some, what is that? I think there's some Amburana in here. I think somebody put Amburana in a blend, guys. I think I could smell the cinnamon rolls. I'm just saying. Where would you go to play curling? Just trying to be, I don't know. An ice rink? Isn't that where you play curling? Darren Clary says they do that on purpose. They invite bad teams to play them at home so they can crush them and get everyone hyped. And bad teams do it because they get money for it, I believe, says Darren Clary. Do you have a coldo or allergies? Might be affecting the outcome here. I did have a bad one 3 weeks ago, but I think the cough is still kind of the remnants of it, but it's starting to finally go away. But my nose and everything is perfectly fine. If it was compromised, I probably would be delaying this, to be honest. So yeah, actually everything I'm smelling is actually really sensitive tonight and tasting. So on point. And yeah, I actually don't have allergies, except for cats sometimes. That's really good. There's some. So I'm going to guess there's Amburana in this blend, and it got medicinal. Like it brought out a medicinal quality to it. Someone gave me an Amburana blend, I think. Eric Sawyer. No one would give an Amburana blend. Yeah, I think there's Amburana in there. No joke. I'm just saying. All right, let me just quick. Jason C is allergic. I'm never allergic to sugar, kitty. All right, last one here, guys. We're getting down to it. Scott Johnson in the house says, "Oh snap! I caught a live. What's going on, man? Nice to see you." JG says, "I swept my garage. Does that almost count as curling?" A little bit. A little bit. Yeah, I don't smell Fireball. Thank God. So this one is the most curious out of all of them so far. Wise Guy Stu says, "Jason, pour mine up against the final 2 tonight. Bet I win outright." Says Wise Guy Stu. Wow, this one just went completely flat. I don't know if it's because I'm coming off of this one, but not a lot going on the palate of this one. Oh, no, there it is. Oh, that's better. I don't know if it's just my residual taste buds right now, but I feel like I'm getting Amburana in that one too. Is someone sending 2 blends with Amburana in it? You guys are brave. I don't know, man. This is tough. This one's rough. I mean, out of all these blends, I don't really have a solid, like, standout blend that I'm like completely loving. So this one's gonna be tough to sort through here. All right, let me take another sip of water here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some more water. Yeah, the Amburana, I think just, yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely some Amburana in here. There's gotta be. If there's not, then, oh my God. Sending Amburana was a good troll. Says Nathan Jurgensen. Yeah, that's a smooth move, X-Lax. It's like one of those, what is it from Dodgeball? It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him. Oh my God. How about some gabagool to go along with the water? I keep getting messages sent to me about the gabagool costume. Have you guys seen this thing on Facebook? The gabagool costume. It's literally a sheet with 2 holes in it, but it looks like a piece of meat. And I can't find out if it's all fake or if that's a real costume. Because if it's a real costume, then I'm going to dress like that for Halloween next week. Yeah, Jason, that's why I didn't want to go first. We didn't get a chance. I'm just saying. Says Big Vic. Yeah, I understand, Big Vic. Eric Sawyer, 2-pack of Amburana Oak Spirals for sale on the internet. $16 to finish your blend in it before you give it to Jason. If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball. Wade Ward says, should I break the news? The winner 2 years ago, Todd Ritter, did not submit an entry. Story developing. Yeah, Todd Ritter did not submit a blend. He's been busy. All right. Let's go back to this one. This one is weird. This is funky, weird. I don't know what's happening in this class. It is smoky, meaty, sweety, and meaty. Chocolatey. I think there is peated whiskey in there. Now that I keep going back to it, I think it's peated. That thing's nuts. Super unique. I kind of dig it. Yes, the whiskey say it's a bold strategy. I'm kind of digging this one. All right, let's go to B here. This was the salty banana, like iced tea. This one's all over the place. Yeah, like lemony banana salty in that blend. What is happening tonight with these blends, guys? Who blended these? The Salty Banana is a great name for whiskey. Yeah, it's actually like a good name for like a band, Salty Banana, or like a really shitty bar. Come down to the Salty Banana. I would go drink at the Salty Banana. I like it. By the way, if anybody watching comes out and opens a bar called the Salty Banana, I want royalties. This is the pure banana bomb. This is the vanilla pudding. I'm sorry, banana pudding. Yeah, I'm not feeling this one. This one's okay. I'm going to take that one out of the mix. These two are interesting. I'll keep those in the mix for now. Dana, what are the rules to be a blend? So this is the Franken blend. So you can blend Scotch, Irish whiskey, cognac, Armagnac, bourbon, rye, light whiskey. You could do anything in this category. That's why it's called the Franken blend. You can kind of blend any different weird concoctions you think would work in these blends. The American whiskey blend, you have to blend, obviously, American whiskey. So bourbons, ryes, but you could not. The big change this year is you cannot use single barrel club or store picks in your blends. You had to only use what was available at your store. Now, if it's like a Russell's Reserve single barrel shelfer, you can use that, but you can't use an actual store pick. That was the big rule change for this year, because I want people to be able to recreate the winning blend. So, what's up, BT? Nice to see you, man. I don't know if I'm crazy about this one either. Yeah. All right. 3 and 4 are out. So C and D, I'm eliminating here. All right, E and F here. I really love the nose on E. The palate seems to be getting better. I like the palate on E. This one might be staying in the mix here. Let's go to F. I mean, getting Amburon, I think, here. Or am I getting an F now? The two of these, I feel like there's, I don't know if it's going from this one to this one or reverse. They both, I'm getting Amburon in both of these. And I don't know if it's just because they're next to each other. Is one influencing the other, or does one actually have Amburana in it? Like, okay, let's go to this one. I'm just curious when you'll revisit the river roots. I'm getting a bit nervous about my purchase, says Mr. Flabbergasted. I'll try it once we're done here, dude. So we'll once it's opened up over there. All right, so I'm gonna eliminate that one. I like these 3 so far. One more of these is getting eliminated. I was gonna say there were some big names in this blending bracket. Can't say I'm super impressed with these guys. I don't know. This one is insane. This one is insane, whatever the hell this one is. I might just put that through because it's like that unique. And it's actually pretty damn good. Now these two, I like E, but I like F better, Eric. F had more of a finish to it. Yeah. F has way more of a finish here. I think I'm going to keep A in the mix. It's really between B and F now. B is the salty banana. It's just really interesting. It's got these crazy flavors to it. F. I'm going to move A into the finals here. These two are really close. I'm going to do a quick thing here, guys. I'm just going to kind of mix these around. I don't want to look at them. I'm just going to try. I'm going to mix these up here and take another sip. I don't want to know what order these are in. Kind of say the noses on these are similar, which is really throwing me off. Okay. I just had water. I need another sip. Okay. This one has more going on, and this is B. So A and B are going through, guys. A and B. A and B are going to the finals. That means, wow, C, D, E, and F are getting eliminated tonight. Let's see what we got. Do you plan to do this again next year? Yeah, John, I do this every year. So this is number 6. Holden Mulaney, how's the Penelope 9-year? Delicious. It's really good. Huge fan. All right. The sheet of integrity. Let's see what we got. All right, so let's start with letter F. Letter F. Is this letter F? Letter F. Letter F was really close. This blend belongs to Joshua Maxwell, Babies in Reno with the vitamin D. I thought this could have Amburana as well. Not really sure. Let's dive into these blends here, guys. Let's see what he had in here. This was his little sheet. Let's see what we got. Babies in Reno with the vitamin D. There it is. The Fiddler Amburana. Josh, man, it overtook your blend. It overtook your blend. Then he had the Red Line Honey finish. He had Maker's Mark BEP. He had 10% Ancient Age. And then he had 10% of a Magi blended rye from Cat's Eye. So, dude, like the Amburana in this the Amburana just took over. It really did. Yeah, Josh, man, pretty good showing, man. But yeah, the Amburana just took over, and I'm just not an Amburana guy. I kind of dig it. I'm just kind of, meh. I think I'm just kind of over it. All right, let's go to letter E. This one I also thought maybe had Amburana in it, but now I'm not so sure. I don't know if it was because of F. This one belongs to Oisin Hayes. OH. The King's Dancing character. Yeah, Oisin, this one just, I don't know, man. It had a really good nose, a really good palate, but it kind of fell off on the finish for me. And I know I like a good finish, Oisin, but as far as, I don't know, maybe it mingling for a little while, it just kind of fell off a little bit. Let's see. Holy shit. All right, so King's Dancing character from OH, Frankenblend. This is a triple finish of ex-bourbon, Oloroso sherry, and Madeira finished bourbon and American whiskeys. Components are all Indiana or American whiskeys from NDPs hailing from Wisconsin, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Dancing Goat 6-year rye. This is a take selected barrel. King's Family Distillery 15-year American light whiskey. The Rare Character single barrel selected by Joe Cannells, finished in Oloroso sherry casks, and the Rare Character single barrel by the Wright selection, by Wright, I should say, finished in Madeira. So there's a beautiful finish on this OH, but there is something in the mid palate that kills this blend. I'm not sure what that is. It goes to a point and then it just gets really bitter. I don't know if it's all the sherry finishes and kind of the sherry cask, but something goes a little bit off of the road there, right in the mid palate for me, unfortunately. But yeah, and then there's really no finish to it, unfortunately. So you do enjoy a good nosing. I do. All right, so that one's out. Let's go to letter D. So letter D was let's see, this goes to the Canadian Dragon Punch by Danny Lopez. Damn, dude. Let's see what's in this one. What did I write for D? Solid blend, I wrote, but nothing outlandishly that stuck out. Let's see what's in this one. We have the Kayo M&J pick. So that's the Mash and Journey Japanese whiskey pick we did. The Found North Batch 6 and Found North Batch 7. Once they were all blended, I finished the blend in a used, drained Canadian maple syrup container for 2 hours and then bottled it. Wow. I mean, it's very good. But again, a little bit light. And I think that's probably that Japanese whiskey kind of taking over a little bit. But damn, really good tasting orders of things, says OH. It might be, man. That Amburana might have killed you. All right, C. C goes to 21 by Henry Turner. Look at this envelope. This is like some secret like Mission Impossible shit. So what did I write for letter C? I wrote banana pudding. And guess what's in this blend, guys? It's all Old Forester. It's an Old Forester 1910, Old Forester Statesman, and an Old Forester single barrel. No wonder why it tastes like banana pudding. Holy shit, dude. 45% Old Forester single barrel proof, 45% Old Forester Statesman, and 10% Old Forester 1910. Pure banana pudding. This is actually a nice blend if you like banana, but the banana just freaking took over. Oh my God, it's so banana. I can't even handle it. How banana that is. So that means going to the finals is, holy shit, Eric Sawyer with 2XB. He was letter B. That was the one I said it was the salty banana. So I don't know what he has in his, but I call it the salty banana iced tea blend. It's really weird, but really different and good. And then letter A, which is Smoky Joe with Holiday Brunch. So, and that one, I mean, this thing is so different. It is literally pancake syrup. It's pancake syrup in a glass. But then you taste it and it's chocolatey and it's sweet. This thing is all over the place. So Smoky Joe and Eric Sawyer, congratulations. You guys are going to the finals next week. So, wow. We're not going to find out what's in those blends until the finals. But everybody who entered, thank you so much. This was probably the most interesting round we've had so far in the Frankenblends category. There were blends that stuck out, blends that kind of held back, but blends that also kind of, I don't know. But then you have like A and B, Eric Sawyer's and Smoky Joe's, that were just weirdly different. It's just an amazing thing when you blend some of these whiskeys together, what could actually happen. So let's look at the bracket here real quick. So that means next week, the finals, week 4, it'll be Shelby Strunk, Jay Turner, Darren Clary, Hugo Gonzalez, Run DMC, Kentucky. Also, we're going to add into the mix Eric Sawyer and Smoky Joe. The wild card, Darren Clary, I added in there because his blend was kind of on the last. It wasn't sent over to Mr. Jeffrey Wack, but it looks to be an eventful finals night next week. So everybody tune in for that. It's going to be an absolute blast. Before we go, let's try this. Now that it's opened up, let's try the River Roots again. Let's see how this opened up. Congrats, guys. Absolutely. Yeah. Another sneaky good bottle this year is the Bernheim Barrel Proof B923. Very solid bottle. Yeah, Saucy Shane, I have to get my hands on that one. That has not dropped yet, at least here. All right, let's go back to this is the fresh pour of the River Roots. Oh, man, I just smell sulfur. That's not cool, man. Sulfur. I told you my nose is really sensitive tonight. I am picking up all sorts of crazy shit. I can smell the proof. I can smell the sulfur. However, I do get a lot of the port. It's a lot of dark fruit and sweet. Let's go for another pour here. The one, oh, sorry. This is the one with, sorry. This is the one I pour without water? Okay, never mind. Let's try that again. Still sulfur. It's too much sulfur. And I don't know if it actually got worse once I tasted through all these blends. There's a harsh sulfur note in this. The proof is nice. The flavor is there, but man, that port wine sulfur note, that little bit of like a eggy note, it's just, it's harsh. Man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot an email to these guys and tell them what I think, unfortunately. But yeah, oof. TCT, did you enjoy the Larceny C923? I actually really loved it. So, Joe Gregory, congrats, man. We'll see you next week in the finals along with all the other contestants. Guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. Next week, we will have a special guest judge. Not sure if that person will be here or at their studio, but we have a really good judge because I wanted to be able to bring in someone that not only knows bourbon, but knows scotch, knows Irish whiskey, enjoys kind of a plethora of different whiskeys, because that's what we really need for these Frankenblend competitions, because there are a lot of different whiskeys in here. So again, congrats to everybody that moved on. Thanks for tuning in, and if you're a Patreon, stay tuned for an after party here tonight. So guys, stick around. I'll see you soon. Thanks for joining in, and as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers. See you next time or next week right here. Finals, Blendageddon and Frankenblends on the Mash and Drum. Cheers, guys.